The project that dealt with my local city and building a natural barricade to stop encroachment of off-road vehicles onto wildlife. And I was tasked with a team of other scouts, like scouts that were beneath my rank. And I had to organize them and I had to focus them to actually go about, the different tasks that I need done. Secondly, when I was with my real estate firm, I was originally assistant associate. I was a sales associate, and then I was raised up to brokerage assistant. As brokerage assistant, I was in charge of a group of associates, and I was in charge of cold calling clients and making sure that they were cold calling clients, making sure that they had proper etiquette, phone etiquette, and whatnot. And if they had any problems or the clients had any problems, I would intervene and deal with that kind of stuff. So, I think both of those things are invaluable, and I think really explain and give you a kind of insight into my knowledge of group dynamics.
Perfect, especially if you take pride in that. That's something that you're comfortable with and will be comfortable with for a while since you have so much experience, which is great. And one of my last few questions is, how do you feel about the dynamics from the last group you've worked with, the last team, the last job you've had, the last person you had to work with on your stuff? It could be school related, job related, family related, anything. How did you feel that was a big part of your everyday life, and what experience that really did give you?
Okay. Well, I have two actually. Number one, I'm going to go back to the real estate firm because it was such a profound influence on me. I had two of the best bosses. I'm not just saying that. They were literally two of the best bosses I could ever hope for. They instilled in me, and from their example, I learned what it is to be like a really ethical and like phenomenal leader. They did their best. If I had a question, they would always make time to answer that question. They were always fair, and they were a pleasure to be around. In fact, the company that I was with, they have a satellite office as well, but the office I was with, it's more like a family than anything else. And I really, really like that kind of atmosphere where everybody works together and it's a nice, coherent, and smooth kind of operation. Before then, I worked for a distribution company distributing construction products, and I really appreciated the boss that I had there because he actually started me. I went there looking for a sales associate position, but he actually started me in the most base level of the company. I was wrapping pallets outside in the summertime.
Not what you were looking for.
No, but not what I was looking for, but I appreciated that because I actually moved up the ranks. It was in the warehouse, then I moved up the ranks to a forklift operator, and then the next year I was a sales associate. And because he started me from that foundational level, like we talked about before, I was given the ability to know the product, know the operations better than pretty much anybody else in the sales office. Because everybody else in the sales office started out in sales, they didn't start out at that base level and work their way up. So I really, really, that right there is actually a mainstay and something that I will always invest in, that whole working from the ground up, no matter what it is.
That's good you take full advantage of that, because I would too. If starting from the bottom and being able to get experience of that is just a bigger advantage to have over people who started on top, didn't know what it really took to get on top. So I think that's awesome you take advantage of that. Just to wrap it up, I want to know if you have any questions for us or for my team, that anything I can answer to help you and fill you in a little bit more about our company, just in case you were having questions that you couldn't be answered because we didn't have this interview.
No, yeah, I have a couple questions actually. The first of which is,
Northwest. I see us expanding in, all over. And whether that takes a couple years, more years than a couple of years, I would just love for us to expand, get our name out there, get more team members who can really fit in with us, and I think that'd be best for our whole company as a whole.
Great. And one more, actually. And I think this actually ties into the one I just asked, but I see that you guys are located at the University of Portland. And I also found that you cater to other universities in your recruitments. Do you ever find that there are any kind of issues with that?
Yes.
Conflict?
We definitely find conflicts, and that's just because there's so many rules that can't be crossed, especially with the NCAA. There's a lot of rules that we have to think about, and that kids who come to us have to think about as well. Parents, any kind of coaches, because there's always a certain timeline where this can happen, especially if they want to come out to us. And there's some kids who don't have that money and that aren't available to receive that money, and we would like to help them out receive that money so they can come to our company. But sometimes there's just lines that are crossed, which is why I think it'd be great to get our company to keep us here and then bring us to the Midwest as well, where we have a group of team members that we can trust and that will do the same thing and have the same success there. So I think it's the same thing tied up to the first question, where really expand our company out there. So what's best for our whole team. So I think that'd be great. Excellent. And just so you know, we're gonna talk to our team members about it so we all get a feel of who we interviewed, and then we will contact you guys as soon as we make a decision. Sooner is better than later, but it could be a tough decision, so I will call you and let you know.
All right.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, I appreciate it.